across the Great Lakes, of course. Now, the wind blows two ways, east and west, and it's all forecast. You know what it's going to do. So if you know that you got a westerly wind on the first lake, let's say, I would forget which they, we go through three of them. But what you do is you stay. Well, there you have no choice. You're running kind of flat, along the lake, and then Canada's over on the other side. So it don't matter which way the wind is. You just have to kind of jump along, and then all of a sudden you're at Detroit, and you go up the river to get through Detroit area to the next lake, and then you go into a small lake. It's big, but it's not one of the Great Lakes.
How deep is that water?
It's my understanding there's some deep, but mostly it's pretty shallow water.
I thought it was some places that are really deep where your anchor's not going to hit.
I don't know that that's so. The reason the Edmund Fitzgerald broke is because it runs in shallow water. Mm-hmm. That's and the wind come up and it gets this up and down shock, and it hit the bottom and broke it in two, and that's how I think that something like that's how it all happened. They don't talk about it a lot. I could never find out, but I'd heard there's shallow water, but some say there is some deep spots. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much. I know that I figure that it's it might be 100 foot deep. We'll say along the edges where I'm going to go, but it is deep water right to the edge. No more Florida style water, know. So I got to go right along the edges and get ready to hide if the winds come up or something like that. So.
Do you carry a sea anchor?
All right, yeah. I'll just lay line out. I'll always keep it in.
You always have enough line to hit the bottom.
Yeah. Because I'll never be. When I anchor, I'll be right up near the shore in 10, 12, 20 foot of water or something like that. And we've already found out that it'll take a blow, so we'll just let it blow until it quits, and then we'll go ahead, Because we can't power push against it.
No.
We lose it. We just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll ease across the towns, and there's like every about 10, 15 miles, there's a little harbor and a little, how it's heavy populated.
Right.
So there's always a place to pull in and always things to do. We got, of course, you got Cleveland, you got, God, I can't think of all of them that are along the Great Lakes. That's where they're at. So you can pull into every one of them, and they build these big break walls, and you can go in, and there's places to tie up, or anchor, whatever you got to do, and get off of it. But it's the boating capital of the world, and nobody really thinks it like that because the winter. But when the spring comes and the lakes thaw and it's time to go boating, of course they go in the cold weather. Once the ice is gone, they're boating. Mm-hmm. There's more boats per capita or anything in any other waterway. It's just solid. It's everybody with their Great Lakes fishing. Like here, you got a certain kind of boat. Up there, maybe they're the same boat, but you got your Great Lakes boat. So I never realized. I thought we'd see a boat once in a while. Wrong. It's solid boats, and so there'll always be boats there. That's the way I look at it. Of course, we can't take a tow or anything like that. There's not.
If you do take a tow, you got to go back to the same spot.
Done. Yeah, I have to go
same
back
rules.
to that spot and start over. So, can't take a tow. No reason to take a tow.
No.
As long as
you have
I got
spare
two
motors?
I've run on one motor 2 or 3 times already.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a spare?
No, I don't have a spare. I only got 2. One of them's my spare. I can't, and you don't lose them both. I mean, if something happened, you lose one. Which can happen. Which it's already happened. We know it does. So.
How hard is it to replace an engine? Where would you get it from? Is it fairly common?
Make a phone call and they just get it to me.
Okay, so it's not your design motor; it's something that you can get off the shelf.
The motors are the only thing that are sponsored on the boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got.
Who sponsors them?
Full sponsorship from Torqeedo.
Torqeedo?
Yeah, they're called Torqeedos. So, yeah, there's a Torqeedo USA. We have a publicist that we work with. And, they want to know how they're doing and what. And so we send them photos, and they're just running. You know, they've been through some stuff. You know,
Mhm.
I could see where they'll just keep running. I don't. You know, granted, something can happen. Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
You turn this thing on, and it makes this computer tells that computer to do something. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so it's other than that, and then we get there, of course, and we come down to Mississippi, and you turn at Cairo, Illinois, up the Ohio. You go up the Ohio 17 miles, I think it is, or 13 miles, then turn into the Tennessee River. That's where the Tennessee dumps into the Ohio and then right into the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of sneak through that current, you
Mhm.
know, and no more tides. It's just river currents. But when a big tug goes up, you know, get about 200 feet behind him and run with him and let the backwash pull you. You know, you have to be real careful. And, well, you have to really pay attention to what you're doing, because those things are amazing. You know, 10,
There's a lot of
12,
surfers that
20,000 horsepower turning water is there's boats been flipped over because it pulls you, and all of a sudden it goes, whoop, and you're gone. So you have to really watch what you're doing.
A lot of surfers get like endless rides on
Yeah,
them.
so, but this boat is made for surfing. It's got a surf stern, I call it.
Mhm.
This boat goes along, it's all shaped underneath, and then the stern kicks up and then comes up to flat, so that even when the water is being pulled by the little motors, it comes up, and the water comes up, right at the end, it pushes the boat forward, back there at the stern.
Mhm.
So I take a displacement hull works. It's not how fast it pushes the boat through the water. It's how fast can you pull the water off the bottom of the boat. That's all you're doing. Is we want that water on the bow to get to that stern, and that all we're doing is digging a hole and putting the boat in it, steady. That's what you do. You don't push the boat in displacement form.
Special paint on the bottom of the boat?
Nope.
No slip, slime, whatever?
Dang, that was $167, and I said, I don't have that kind of money. I'm going to be in fresh water real soon. It won't be a problem. Well, let's see. I got about $400 in cleaning the bottom. You know, so yeah, I should have spent the $167 for bottom paint.